Hi, Sharon Case here from the Young and the Restless, Canada's top soap. I hope you got to watch my first interview on Sun Media Chain. Deets are below if you haven't seen it yet. So along with my co-hosts and journalists Dee and Alan from the podcast The Chat and TV Source, I have a very special guest who just happened to join me in part 2 of the interview. So let's watch. Here we go.
Are there like times that you wish that Sharon would just like cuss everybody out?
Oh, yes. I wish she would just tell everybody, where to go, honestly, because people really control her. People say, the fans say Nick is controlling and then Ray is controlling. Well, everybody's controlling. Sharon does what her children want. If it were me, that's not how my life goes. But this is Sharon, and she does have a lot of guilt, and she really likes to put other people ahead of herself. And like we were saying before, that is something that Sharon and Adam have in common. You know what? Maybe if they ever really do get together, they'll overcome that as people when they're together and become stronger.
So, going back and talking and thinking about Sharon and the progression of her life and some of the choices that she's made in regards to some of the men that she's been with, do you feel like maybe some of this stems back to the fact that we never really see Sharon's dad? And what would Sharon's life be like if she had her dad, if her dad showed up?
You are so right. A lot of this would have to have everything to do with her not having a father. And that is a reality for a lot of people. And so it's likely true that a lot of the relationships that she's had were a neediness to have someone in her life to fill a void that she never had. And one thing that really went well for her in joining the Newman family was that she had Victor as her father. And that really settled her. And that was a lovely relationship until Sharon became bipolar and did a lot of things that, encouraged the demise of that relationship. It's years later now. I always hope that those two will find their way, really have real talks one day and find their way back into each other's graces. And I think that would be very emotional. And for the reason you said, Dee, because Sharon never had a father in her life before, and until Victor. And I think that if they sat down and really worked through what had happened, were honest with each other about how Sharon's disease had affected them, and led them down some strange paths, I think that those would be really powerful scenes.
Yeah, I feel like it really would. And I feel like in terms of Sharon and Victor's relationship, he asked her to go to Vegas to help Adam. And I feel like whenever anything hits the fan, he knows that when it comes to Adam, he can come to Sharon and Sharon will come through for him every single time.
Isn't that amazing that Victor knows that? That shows that even though Victor and Sharon's relationship has been somewhat estranged for years, he still knows her. He knows her very well. He understands the connection that she has with his son, Adam. Someone like Victor Newman, and a father anyway, but someone like Victor Newman really knows. They see that. Of course, he comes to her. Victor knows that Sharon is who Adam's going to respond to. He said that several times, and you're right. He always asks for Sharon's help. Where are we going, Alan? Where are you going? What are you doing, Alan?
So people have noticed on social media that you and Mark kind of together a lot. Have you guys formed a book club or something? What's going on?
Are we on social media a lot? I didn't think we were really on social media that much. Well, you're right. For a period of time, we were. And then we laid low a little bit on the social media thing. And Mark can, he's a little bit shy actually when it comes to doing social media or any kind of media. He's shy because he's new to this. So I think in the beginning it was really exciting to do that. And then when he saw the fan response, I think it just overwhelmed him, and he, his shyness came back. And it's not maybe just a shyness, it's a politeness about him. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing. When he's on the spot, he doesn't know what to say, but he's learning. He's finding his own way. And I was the same way when I started daytime. Hey, Mark. Mark, Dee wants to ask you something. I don't know what. She wants to ask you something.
Hello.
Hi, Mark.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's up, Alan?
Hey, Mark.
Well,
how are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I just had my Friday night cheat meal. I've got ice cream in the fridge. I go like crazy on Friday night. It's a really bad habit.
That's nice. Question: do you know where Sharon keeps her Emmy?
It's pretty close to here, isn't it?
It is.
It's like 10 feet away.
Oh, really? Now, interesting. He knows where she keeps the Emmy.
Are you gonna get it?
Yeah, I know where it is.
We want to see it.
I'm gonna grab it. Hold on, I'll be right back.
When Mark first saw my Emmy, he needed to hold. He'd never seen one. He's like, it's really pretty. Oh, it is. It is. Oh,
hey.
Oh my God.
Here it is, Sharon.
Thank Mark and the Academy.
Did you know that when you went to go audition that it was going to take off like this, that you were just going to end up on this show with this cast and that woman?
No. I didn't. I definitely didn't know what role I was auditioning for, because it's always under some code name, and like all the characters' names are different, so you never really know. And I think I auditioned for the show like a year or two prior, and to be honest with you, it probably was for, if I had to guess, like a year or two prior, what role I auditioned for was probably for like the Kyle Abbott role.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel
you
like,
don't know because they don't say the right name.
Yeah,
you have no idea. It sounded like that was Kyle.
Yeah, you always look back and you're like, oh, well, I wonder what role was cast then. But no, I had no idea until the screen test, I guess, or the producer session, and then I got to meet you and Joshua, and who else was there? It was Melissa Ordway was in there because she was testing, I think, for the Nates, and Gina Tugnoni was there. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So
yeah.
They had their eye on you for a while, and they just like, interesting.
And he auditioned for B&B before that too.
I'm so sorry. I'm like sweating out here. It's like there's a fireplace next to me. Yeah, I think I auditioned for B&B like a couple of weeks before, and like I didn't get it, so I was kind of bummed, and then that audition came around, so I was kind of like, whatever, all right, I'll go audition, and I don't know, whatever I did, I guess they liked, so luckily they called me back. And
so you came into a show, and you get immediately thrust in with the Queen, Sharon. My question for you is, what is it like to work with the Sharon Case?
It's great. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, obviously she is Queen Sharon, so it's an honor to work with her, and getting to know her. It's just been wonderful, and she's such an amazing actress, and she makes me a better actor. And I'm always amazed by her, because it's like, no matter what they write for her or what story, like she will find a story within a story. And she's like such an intelligent actress. And I watch it awesome times. I'm like, how the heck did you do that like out of this scene that was written, and there was just like so nuance. And yeah, I'm just always blown away whenever I watch her work and work with her. And I enjoy working with her so much because, you know, we're both the kind of actors that I think we like to talk about the scene and kind of, you know, what's the scene about and stuff like that. And the actors different, you know, some actors don't want to talk about it and just do it. And so I just feel like every time I get to work with Sharon, it's you know, it's a team, and she makes me a better actor, and we're just kind of on the same page, and we're both always real excited about the work that we're doing. So I just feel lucky, you know, because there's a reason she's, you know, Queen Sharon, and I'm lucky to get to work with her.
I'm trying not to fangirl. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying so hard.
Sorry, I was totally.
That was so sweet.
That really was.
Okay, when you guys watch the show, do you see the chemistry that the fans see when you guys are like kissing at society and all that?
You go first.
Okay, well, what we see actually is it's highly technical. They need us to stand exactly right and light it exactly right. And then all the movements have to be precise. Right. And then I remember, you know how there was a photograph of the Sharon Kiss and Faith got it and everyone got it. So that wasn't even taken from the scene. It was when we were done. No, before we even shot the kiss, they posed us like in a kiss with my hand just here. And we felt like statues, and they photographed us, and that was that photograph. So, but that's normal because anytime you're doing a love scene and sometimes a real specific kiss like that, it's so highly choreographed. So all we're thinking about is trying to get the choreography right and still trying to look really relaxed and natural, even though we have all this choreography. So don't you think that's how it feels? Well, that scene anyway.
For sure, yeah. Something like that is like so technical that it can take you out of the moment, because, you know, it's just like everything we do, it has to be like super fast, and something like that is super technical. So it's hard to like stay in a moment where it's like, hey, we have to get this exact shot, and okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And so it's I don't know, but do I see chemistry?
Well, for the other scene, not that highly technical scene, but just an average scene we do, like let's say we run into each other in the coffee house.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I'm terrible at trying to be objective about watching myself, or like scenes, you know. But I don't know. I think some are better than others, or at least from my point of view. I'm like, oh yeah, I achieved what I wanted to achieve in that scene, or like, oh, I really kind of screwed up that beat, or
we all feel like
missed an opportunity there.
But we talk about it in advance so that we understand what we want to achieve in the scene, each individually or together, how we view the scene, what we think it's about, so that sometimes after you have that conversation, you go out on stage and that just all gets lost and the moment plays out and that's all that plays. And sometimes you really do achieve what you set out to. You know, it's hit and miss because we have a lot to do and we do move fast, but Mark and I do work the same way as actors. Like he said, we like to talk about the scene and rehearse it a lot and break it down. Like what do we think this scene is? Is this an I love you scene, or it's a breakup, or you know, we just decide what the scene is about.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. You just try to have this plan and hit this stuff, and you know, sometimes you fall short, but you know, sometimes it goes better than you thought, or something happens.
That happens a lot with me, where it goes better than I thought. All these stages, you go, well, that one, oh no, and then it actually looked fine. So that was a good lesson to learn, that when I think it's really, really terrible, it's usually not, you know, because our crew does a great job, and the cameramen capture, and the directors what we are doing, even if we don't think we're doing it. But
well, if it goes really bad, just talk really fast and be really loud.
Yeah. If you don't,
and then start improvising and just say stuff.
If you don't understand what the scene is about, just talk really fast and loud and get it over with.
Just rip it off like a bandit.
Then editing will handle it after that. we sometimes do scenes where we don't know, what does this line mean? Why am I saying this? And so, but we spend time with it, thinking about, well, what are all the possibilities that this could mean? What's going on in Adam or Sharon's life right now that might prompt this line? So we talk about things like that. Not all actors like to do that. That's fine. I'm glad that Mark does.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you do, because like everyone knows, we don't really get a lot of rehearsal or more than one take. So it's kind of like you have to go off and spend time talking about it, because you're not going to get that opportunity out on stage. So it's nice to have a scene partner that is interested, kind of thing. So,
I agree.
Oh.
Feel free to kiss whenever the mood hits you.
Sharon can never remember her lines though, so.
Oh, he always gives me a hard time about that, because I think when you first started, I said that I could memorize my lines really fast because you were struggling.
Oh, you can.
Well,
right.
You were struggling just because you had a lot of dialogue, and I'm like, I don't have that much to say, so I memorize my lines. So now I'll never live that down. If I forget one of my lines,
well, you can like pick up a scene and look at it, and within like 5 minutes, she's like memorized the whole scene. And I'm like, how do you do that? Joshua's the way too. It's crazy.
Joshua's the king of memorizing his dialogue.
Just like look at it, like, oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, I know exactly what that scene's about. Yep.
Yeah.
And I know all the dialogue already.
Yeah. Never forgets anything.
How do you? Yeah, it's crazy.
This is my little doggie. Her name's Caroline.
Hi.
She's very sweet, and she never barks, and she's incredibly mindful. She's such a good girl. And my other little doggie, I have a little doggie a black one who's a Chihuahua. His name
is Marco.
His name is Marco. Marco's 12. I've had him a long time, so now I have 2 Marks in my life. So you can see the resemblance between Mark and Marco. Here he comes.
Sure. This is Marco.
Dark hair. They really like each other.
Aww.
No, this is a dog show. Marco really loves dogs. It's so sweet.
Marco's kind of grumpy.
He is a little grumpy.
What did you submit for your Emmy reel?
I submitted, I think I saw a couple scenes with me and Chelsea in the penthouse, like after kind of the fallout from the AJ Montalvo stuff, when I got one over on Victor, and then he totally was like, no, you didn't. And I think I seen where me and her broke up, and then some stuff from the psych ward, I think. And that might have been it. Yeah, I think it was probably like 4 or 5 scenes.
I saw the reel. It's really good. All the psych ward stuff is great. He had this conversation with Chelsea. It was all about Victor. He was talking on and on about something that went wrong with Victor. And you were so good in that scene.
Oh, well, thanks. It's so nice. Luckily I had a lot of stuff to pick from, because I worked a lot last year. So it was kind of hard to decide. But yeah, I just chose to use that. I don't know. I always feel like less than more, but yeah, I just picked 4 scenes and put them in there. That's so nice that you say.
Did you carry Young and The Restless on your back last year?
They gave me a lot of material, that's for sure. But it's nice to be working a lot.
So, Mark, you were nominated last year in supporting. It was your first year on soaps, and it's pretty rare for that to happen. How did you feel about that?
It was a huge honor. I mean, my first year, it's crazy to think about, because I had never done daytime before, and it took me like 6 months before I even felt a shred of feeling comfortable. I was like, wait, I just walk over here, and then I pick up the coffee cup over there, and I had so much material. I think the first 3 months I was pretty much in every show, and I just was really overwhelmed. So to just think about my first year and like from the beginning how kind of overwhelmed I was, and then trying to get comfortable and figure out what I was doing, and then to like get nominated in my first year was amazing. So I just was really honored, really, really honored. And yeah, it's just it's crazy.
And so. He hadn't even, not only was it your first year, he hadn't even done an entire year, because the Emmys are a calendar, run on the calendar, and you didn't even start airing until May. Of course, he had enough shows.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, April 3rd, I think, was my first work day.
And he had enough shows to qualify to compete, but still, coming out in daytime as a newbie and not even doing a whole year. I mean, granted, you did a lot of material, like you said, in the time they were there, but that was just great, Mark.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I was just grateful to, be able to work that much and play a great role of Adam Newman, what a great character.
Well, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed our interviews, and stay tuned. We'd also like to know what you think, so why don't you post your comments by joining all of our social media platforms.